For the 100% cheapest coins on the internet with reliable delivery and quick customer support, check out my sponsor MMOEXP by clicking the link at the top of the description and use code SWIFT at checkout for 5% off. Salsa family, and today I'm coming back at you guys with another Madden 21 video on the channel, and in today's video we're gonna go over the cheapest way to get training after the crazy market crash. Now this is by far the cheapest training has been all year. You can buy training at a 3 CPT, which is well cheaper than we've seen all year. I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to do that in today's video. Now as we get into these filters, if you like the content on the channel today, scroll down and leave a like. It helps the channel out so very much. And let's get into filter number 1. Now the first overall grouping we're gonna be sniping in this one are gonna be 93 overall players at a price of 40k or less. Now that's gonna give us around a 3.5 CPT, and there's quite a few filters we can look at to find these 93s. Now the first one is series reduxes, and on all these filters there's kind of a two-step process. As you guys can see, we're on buy now price to start with, and we see a Melvin Gordon for 35, just a second too slow. But let me go over the two-step process really quickly. So the first thing you do is make sure you're seeing the newest cards. So go by newest and ensure you're seeing 59 minutes on the filter. Then go back to buy now price and scroll down to make sure there's not any 93s up for under 40k. As you guys can see, I don't see any on this filter right here. We did miss that Melvin Gordon snipe, and now that we know that, instead of saying on buy now, we go back onto newest and we refresh on this filter. Now the reason why I do that is basically step number 1, we make sure we're seeing the newest cards. Step number 2, we make sure we haven't missed out on any good snipes, and then step number 3 is to find these snipes by refreshing on the filter. As you guys can see, there's a lot of activity on this one. All it takes is 193 up for 40k or less. If we see a card at that price, we will buy the card and we will quick sell the player for training. Doesn't look like there's anything too crazy on the redux filter. Let me move on to filter number 2. Now for filter number 2, we're gonna go to the 50. As you guys can see, we are seeing 59 minutes on the players. We go back to buy now price, and it looks like the cheapest 93 right here is gonna be up for a price of around 49k, a little bit more expensive than I was hoping for. Usually the Brian Finneran is up for fairly cheap. It doesn't look like there's gonna be that on this filter. The 50 probably isn't the best way to get your 93s. I'm a big fan of reduxes. The 50 isn't really the best one. Now moving on, let's quickly take a look at the veteran filter. This one isn't that good. Sometimes you'll find a 93 up for cheap. It's worth a check because sometimes these cards get posted up for like 35 or 36k. So just take a look on this filter. All you have to do on this one is go by buy now and refresh. But to be honest, this probably isn't my favorite filter. Now one filter that I am a big fan of is going by Mud Hero. As you can see, there's going to be a lot of activity on this filter, and on this filter as well as the next one I'm going to show you guys, or one down the line, all you have to do is refresh on it. So as you guys can see, there's no 92s on this filter, so you simply refresh, and when you find a card up for 40k, buy the player and quick sell him. Right there we get a Chase Roulier for 40,000 coins, and that's why I like the Mud Hero filter, because there's a lot of activity on this one, and again, all it takes is one person posting a card up for cheap. Now after that, a couple other filters we're going to go over are going to be the legend one. There's a lot of different ways to find these 93s if you guys couldn't already tell, and on this filter we're going to do the same thing we did with the reduxes. So we can make sure we're seeing 59 minutes, we are, and now what we're going to do is scroll down on the buy now price filter and make sure there's not any 93s up for really cheap. I don't see any up for a crazy deal. Rich Gannon at 42k, Jack Youngblood at 43, so there's a lot of potential when we go back to newest to maybe find a snipe right here. Again, all you have to do is refresh, and we're hoping to find a snipe. This filter, as well as the series redux and one other one that I'm going to show you, are probably my favorite ones, so take some refreshes here. And now let's move on to another filter that I'm a big fan of. This is probably my favorite one to look at, and that is going to be Team of the Week. Now for some reason there's a lot of really cheap cards on the Team of the Week filter right now. We're going to go by newest, so we're seeing 59 minutes. We can confirm that right there. We quickly go back to buy now price to make sure we didn't miss any snipes, and as you guys can see, there are a lot of 92s up for a cheap price on this at under 40,000. I don't see any 93s at that price point, which is obviously not ideal. Now what we're going to do is sit on the newest filter. There's Donovan McNabb, there's Glover Quinn, there's Baker Mayfield. Those cards can all get posted up, so simply refresh on this Team of the Week filter. You're waiting for a 93 for cheap. As you can see, there's one right there in Glover Quinn. I'm not going to buy the card because we do have a solid amount of training right now, but again, this filter is going to be nice. I would say this one and the redux filter are probably my two favorite ones to take a look at. All you have to do is refresh here. You'll actually sometimes find some crazy snipes for 92s at like 20k, so you can actually make coins off of that as well. And again, another Glover Quinn getting posted up at 39. Training is incredibly cheap right now, boys. You are going to want to make sure you take a look at these filters. Now the final one you guys can also look at is going down by the Zero Chill program, and that one is decent. It's similar to the Muddy Row filter. We're going to go by buy now price, and as you will see, there's a card up for 40k. There's not a lot of people looking on this filter. There's not a ton of activity either. either. This is kind of similar to the veteran one. It's worth a check, but usually you're not going to want to sit on it and refresh. So yeah, those are all the filters to look at to find your 93s. Again, you want to find these cards up for 40k or under, whether you guys want to stock up on training, use it to power up players, put abilities on your cards. Take a look at these filters. Obviously, you probably don't need to look at all of them because you can find some snipes before you get to the last one, but that is what you want to do with 93. Now, another filter that is pretty solid if you want some training in bulk is going to be 95 overall Ultimate Legends at 80k or cheaper. Now, there's usually a lot of these cards up for that price. All we have to do is go by Ultimate Legend, and all we're going to see is 95s on this filter. There's a card up for 69k right here. That is a crazy deal if we land that Isaac Bruce, so we get a hell of a snipe for 60k, but all of these cards at under 80k are snipeable for training. We're going to go by newest to make sure we're seeing the newest cards. We are, and there's not a lot of people buying on here, guys. There's not a lot of people at all buying on this filter. All you want is these cards up for a price of 80k or under, and that is going to be a good filter right there if you're interested in getting training in a little bit of bulk. So we did just get quite a lot of training in this video. At the end of it, let's rip a couple of training variety packs and see how well we can do. Hopefully we get some solid pulls out of this. I'm not expecting really anything that crazy, and I actually quickly need to update my notes. You guys want those 95s at 75k or under. I did misspeak, not 80k, 75k or under. So we're gonna rip this pack a couple of times here. Let's maybe open this up 10 times, see if we can really get anything too glitchy. It is very, very inexpensive to open this up right now because of the fact that training is so cheap. It is so easy to get training right now, so this pack is really inexpensive to rip. We started off with 2 Team of the Week players. That's not what you want to see at all out of this pack. I honestly kind of prefer the 83 plus legend player, but we're going to continue to go through this one. We get a Bills color rush uniform. Not what you want to see at all right there. Let's open this a couple more times. We'll try a couple of training variety packs, and then I will sign out for the video, man. Hope you guys are all having a good day, having a good weekend. It's Sunday already. I don't know if you guys are on spring break soon. I feel like I've heard a couple of you guys in the comments saying you are. We get an 87 Leroy out of the 83 plus. Hopefully we get like a 90 plus overall pull out of this. That'd be sick if we get one in these last couple of packs at the end of the video. Your legend with the light, show me a 90 plus. Show me a 90 plus. EA, you are absolutely trolling me with the 87 overall Joe Thomas. He gets the lights because he came out really early in the year. So what can we do? We get a 92 Michael Strahan. All right, let's rip one more pack here, and then I am gonna sign out for the video. Hope you guys have all been having a good day. Definitely be sure to check those filters out. I would honestly recommend you guys maybe stock up on a little bit of training right now. Maybe grab a couple of 93s or a 95, because training is probably gonna go up throughout the week, and then it'll dip back down over the weekend. I believe it's these Ultimate Legend fantasy packs that have really drove down the market, because the odds on these were absolutely crazy, but these are going to be out of the stores, I believe, on Monday. So trading is probably going to go up a little bit. Wouldn't be the worst idea to invest in some trading, not for the fact that you're going to sell it off for profit, but just in case you want to use it throughout the week, because it is going to be more expensive if you want to buy it later on. One final pack right here, and then we will head out for the video. Hope you guys have enjoyed this one. Definitely be sure to take a look at those filters, and until next time, fellas, I'm out. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.
So good,